So today we basically did a movie review on a film that we watched, and I chose The Wolf of Wall Street. So one of the reasons why I chose that was because currently I'm reading the book, and once I finish the book it'll be good to compare them both and to see what's actually true and what's actually not. So a bit about the movie is basically about a successor called Jordan Belfort, and he basically built an empire from selling stocks. So it was getting to the point where he was making so much money that he became a drug addict. And then one day the FBI found out that he was manipulating and basically doing fraud to get the money and get the sales. And in the end he had to go prison for 2 years. And during this time, that's when he released this story. So the director was Martin Scorsese, and I think he was trying to tell us that money doesn't really define success. Someone who is successful wouldn't end up in prison after a couple of years because they would have made the money in a more ethical way than what Jordan Belfort did. So one of my favourite parts of the movie was when Jordan Belfort said his speech about him leaving, and then on the spot he just quickly changed his mind and said, okay, I'm not leaving, I'm staying. And I feel as though this really summed up the whole movie in itself. I mean, he was making millions a month and he was ready to walk out, but just like that he changed his mind on the spot and stayed. I mean, who would want to walk away from making millions a month? And I feel as though this really defines the whole movie, and as much as we can relate to, we find it hard to walk away from things that we've built, that we've had a connection with. So one of my favourite characters in the movie is the co-founder of Stratton Oakmont, which is Donnie. Basically, Donnie started off as a normal salesman selling, I think it was furniture, and he quickly found out how much Jordan Belfort was making a month, and he wanted to, in a way, earn as much as he was. So he then quit his job and basically joined up with Jordan Belfort, opened Stratton Oakmont. I feel as though he inspires me in a way because he knew nothing about stockbroking, and he wanted that luxury lifestyle that Jordan Belfort was living. And because of that wanting that luxury lifestyle, he made an opportunity for himself in a way and decided to do what Jordan was doing, even though he knew nothing about stock. And I feel as though it's quite inspirational to know that he created an opportunity for himself just like that. On the flip side, I think Donnie is one of the least favourite characters that I like in the movie. One of the reasons being is because throughout the movie you can see a steady change in his personality, his ego, and I felt as though he became a completely different person to what he started off with. So I learned quite a bit from this movie, from the sales techniques to how greed and power can take over someone's life, and sometimes you have to walk away from what you've become so attached with and what you've built, mainly because it may be successful now, but deep down you know it's going to turn sour in the future, and it's your opportunity to walk away. For example, Jordan had a chance to walk away, but he stayed and he had to pay the price for it. And even though he knew it was wrong, the greed and power in a way took over. So that's one of the things that I learned from this movie, is the fact that sometimes you have to walk away.